Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Samantha and today I would like to share with you a comparison review, and the two brands that I'm going to talk about today and compare are I Heart Makeup and Anastasia Beverly Hills. Now I Heart Makeup recently brought out one of their new, well, it's a brand new chocolate bar palette and it is called the Mint Chocolate Palette. So it looks like this, and this is a gorgeous palette. Love that. And the other one that I want to compare it to is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture Palette. Now, when I first saw the Mint Chocolate Palette swatched, I thought, wow, the colours in there are very reminiscent of the Subculture Palette. Some people love the Subculture palette, some people really dislike it, and there's been all sorts of problems with this palette. But the one thing that came out of this was that with the Subculture palette was that people were really excited to try something new, try some new colours, and that's what came out of, you know, the whole Subculture issues, was that people really wanted to try something new and they loved the shades in there, whether the palette was good or bad. So when I Heart Makeup brought out the Mint Chocolate palette, I was really excited to try it. Like I say, it reminded me, or some of the shades reminded me of the Subculture, so I couldn't wait once I had shared the Mint Chocolate palette with you, which I have done. And if you want to look at that, I will link that down below for you, but it's just, you know, going around the palette and so forth and swatching it. But yeah, I'm really excited to share this with you today. Now what I'll do is, first of all, is go through the differences. So first of all, the differences are price. So the I Heart Makeup palette is £8.99. and the Subculture palette was £42, and you can purchase the Mint Chocolate palette from tambeauty.com. It's available now, and the Subculture palette I picked up from Beauty Bay, and I'm sure it was £42, and I'm sure it's still available if you want to make a purchase. The secondary difference is how it looks, how it's packaged. So the Mint Chocolate palette is, well, it's dedicated to, the packaging anyway, is dedicated to mint and mint chocolate. And I'll just take the palette out of the packaging. So the Mint Chocolate packaging is, well, it's very mint, and the Subculture packaging is like a peacock blue colour. So that is the difference there, the packaging. Obviously they're from different brands, you wouldn't expect them to be the same. Then we move on to the inner packaging, so the palette. So the Mint Chocolate is one of their chocolate palettes, so you're getting, in this case, the chocolate as in the pieces of chocolate. This one is mint, and then this part is chocolate, which is usually the case. And then on the back, although it's got a lot of fingerprints on it, there's a mint green sticker which tells you the palette name. With the Subculture, it is you know, this velvet material. It's a card palette. The I Heart Makeup is plastic, of course, so this is a card palette which is covered in this, like a felt material. And then when we open up the Mint Chocolate palette, you've got a mirror, you've also got a sheet with the names on, and this is what it looks like. So it's in their regular chocolate bar design, how it's set out. So you've got two large pans at opposite corners there, and then the rest you've got all of the shades, which is stunning. Then with the, and also there's a scent to it, which now my cold is now starting to go, I can now smell it properly, and it smells really gorgeous. With the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette, you have again got a mirror, but this one isn't quite so big, and you did have, there was a sheet to it, but it wasn't a name sheet. It is just one of those sheets. Now I've taken that away because the names are actually underneath the shades there, and I'm just going to share the palettes with you side by side. So this is what they look like. They have very similar colours. It's very similar feel to it. The only difference is with these is that there isn't these two shades in the I Heart Makeup, which is Cube and Electric, and they are, I don't know what formulation they are, but they're not like a shimmer, and they're not like a shimmer formulation, a regular shimmer formulation. It is quite bizarre. They seem to be it's very difficult because they don't come across as a powder when you rub your finger in them, which is how I apply them. They seem to move within the pan like sort of, I don't know, putty or Play-Doh or something of like that. But those two shades are not in the I Heart Makeup palette, so I won't be swatching those, but you can get a real feel of the shades. They and what I'm trying to say is that they have the same feel to them, as in they're very much autumnal palettes. They've got these golds, they've got the I don't know, those earthy tones to them. Really, really beautiful, and I can't wait to see if we've got some similar tones in here. So what I'm going to do is what I usually do. I'm going to, I think, go with the, which palette shall I start off with? I think I'll go with the Anastasia Beverly Hills. I'm not going to obviously swatch Cube or Electric because, you know, the shades, there's just not that kind of shade in the I Heart Makeup. But definitely the mattes and the shimmers, I will swatch those and see, you know, if we've got any similar shades. So the first shade, and looking at the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette, is Dawn that I'm going to swatch, and it is a matte colour, and let me just see, I think the shade in the I Heart Makeup palette that should or looks like it's going to match is called Interrupted. So I'm just going to swatch that one. So this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills shade Dawn, and this is Interrupted from the Mint Chocolate palette. So they are very, very similar shades. This one from Anastasia Beverly Hills is slightly lighter, just slightly lighter, but on the eye that is definitely going to give you a very, very similar look from the I Heart Makeup palette. So that's the first one. The next one we have is called Destiny. So this one is very, very dark. It's like a dark, earthy brown green from the Anastasia Beverly Hills. And let me just see. In the I Heart Makeup, there isn't a shade that specifically matches. However, I'm going to try Awaken, even though it hasn't got that green tone to it. It isn't, yeah, there's the Anastasia Beverly Hills. So that's Destiny, and that is a very, very dark brown green colour. And then the one from I Heart Makeup is Awaken, but it doesn't have that green tone to it. So that, unfortunately, is not a dupe. Then we've got our first shimmer shade, which is called Dawn from Anastasia Beverly Hills. And this one is like a golden, yeah, it's like a bronzy golden, and I think the one that might match that one from the I Heart Makeup is called Distorted. So that's the Anastasia Beverly Hills. That is the one from I Heart Makeup called Distorted. That one has more copper tone to it. That one's more of a golden bronze. So again, not quite a dupe there. Now then we move on to All Star, which is, it's a very deep shade. Again, very, very deep, but it's got a red. This one here had a green a green tone to it, and this one has more of a red burgundy tone. The one that looks like it may be similar is called Worlds Apart, and no, that one is very, I mean, it's so dark that you can't really tell if it's really dark brown or it's burgundy, and you can see with Worlds Apart from I Heart Makeup that that is very much, you know, an orangey red tone. Then we go back to Anastasia Beverly Hills, and there is a shade called Mercury, which again is matte, and I think that Awaken, which is the deep brown shade, might match that one. So there is Mercury and there is Awaken. Very similar, but not quite. This one's got a little bit more brown to it from I Heart Makeup. This one is nearly black, very pigmented, but in the pan it actually looks like a grey brown. Now we move on to Axis, which is a deep dark green colour from Anastasia Beverly Hills. Wow, so that's Axis, or Axis, AXIS. I thought that was going to go on and on and on. And the one from I Heart Makeup is called Poison Ivy. So that is Poison Ivy, that is Axis. Not a dupe, but you know, very similar tones. I'm just getting a wipe because they were so pigmented, those colours. Okay, so the next one is Roxy, which is like a, let me just swatch it, like an orange tone. I've still got a little bit of green. Let me just see if I can clean that off. It's just not coming off at all. So that's Roxy. I don't think there is a shade at all in the I Heart Makeup. I'm just going to try Secret, but I know that's not going to, actually that's not too bad. So this is Roxy, this is Secret. Roxy is a little bit more orange toned, and this one is a little bit more brown. And then the next one, jumping over electric, is Fudge from Anastasia oh, that made me jump. Anastasia Beverly Hills, and that's a brown shade. That's Fudge. It was only the wipes, but I'm in the zone. The next one is, I'm going to try Secret again because yeah, it's too light. So that one is from Anastasia Beverly Hills, that's Fudge, and that one is Secret. So yeah, it's definitely not as deep as Fudge at all. Then we've got New Wave from Anastasia Beverly Hills, which is like a, it's a very strange colour because it looks very yellow and orange toned in the pan, but it comes off more orange on your arm. The thing is, the differences also is that in the Anastasia Beverly Hills, the ones that may match the ones in the I Heart Makeup, some are matte and some are shimmer. So it's a little bit difficult. So I'm going to try Distorted again, which is a shimmer shade. So that's the shimmer shade. But yeah, it's one's a shimmer and one's a matte. Then we move on to Untamed. When am I going to do this? Are you going to be able to see? I think I'm going to have to start up here. So that is Untamed, and there isn't, the only other one is Poison Ivy, which is a matte. Try that. So that's Poison Ivy and that's Untamed. You can see that in the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette, the shades are, they look near enough black, but then they've got an undertone of another colour, and Untamed is the same as the other ones that I've swatched, where, you know, they're nearly black, whereas Poison Ivy, you can definitely see that that is a green. Then we've got Edge, which is that colour there, Edge. The only one that might match that is Interrupted again. So that's Interrupted. Not too bad, but they don't, I mean, there's not spot on dupes. And then the very, very last one is Rowdy. Let's try that one. I really don't think that there's going to be a dupe at all. I'm going to, again, the only other one I can do is Awaken. So that one is Rowdy and that one is Awaken, which is that brown colour. Yeah, it's like the cool toned brown. So basically I have swatched the ones, I've gone through the whole of the palette, the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette, apart from Cube and Electric, because I knew that there wouldn't be any dupes just because they are too, they're very, very, as I said at the beginning of the video, they are very, very, they're odd formulations. They're not a standard shimmer. They feel like putty or something like that, and they move around in the pan, which is very, very strange. But yeah, I knew that I wouldn't be able to find any dupes for those. And to be honest, you know, I've swatched them, and some of the colours, they are very reminiscent of each other. Those two in particular, those ones, and you can see that they're, you know, they are similar, but they're not what I would say a spot on dupe. You can definitely still get the same feel from the I Heart Makeup palette as you would to the, you know, the Anastasia Beverly Hills. If you're making an eye look, then, you know, they both have the same or similar tones, similar tones to them, you know, like greens and burgundies, yellow, golds and things like that. But I don't think this is a complete dupe for the Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette. But you could, I suppose, make a similar look. Yeah, I mean, I was very, very interested to see that. I mean, to be honest, when I tried the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette, I tried 3 looks and they weren't too bad for me. But obviously I love this. I've already tried it. I just love the formulation of these palettes, just amazing. And when I've just swatched the Anastasia Beverly Hills, the colours I think are very, very dark and deep. So Access, All Star, Untamed, Rowdy, they're quite deep tones. So I think out of the two, this one is much more of a wearable palette. And of course, we've heard about the Subculture, you know, how dusty it is, how it kicks up a lot of powder. Not with this one. You know, you can just use it and not worry about all of that fallout. So I hope that helped you. If you're thinking, are these dupes? I don't quite think that they are dupes. Like I say, I think you can make an eye look out of them that is very similar and has that same feel to each other, but I don't think that they're spot on dupes. But I would love to hear what you think, what you thought of the swatches and so forth down below. So do please leave me some comments. I love to hear all of the comments from you. Also, you can see that I've got a new backdrop. It is white with lots of sparkle to it. However, it is shiny, so I'm getting a little bit of light hitting it, so I don't know what I'm going to be able to do with that, but you know, I would like to hear your feedback about that as well. And yeah, I would love to receive a thumbs up for this video, and of course, if you are brand new to my channel, I would love it if you subscribed. But until next time, thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Bye.